Is this going to be the beginning of maximum FOMO, and could we expect the continuation of this bullish run towards the upside exactly here? Because yes, Bitcoin broke towards the upside, we didn't break the 38.2, which is exactly at this major resistance level. But guys, most importantly, we're going to look at the levels that Bitcoin needs to hold so that we can validate this bullish move and could say that this is the turning point and that we could expect this parabolic run towards the upside, breaking the previous highs. So yes, we're going to look at the price movement of Bitcoin, and we're also going to look at some altcoins. So if you want to find out more, watch the video until the end, smash up the like button and subscribe, and welcome back to B4Crypto. Yes guys, we saw this bullish move towards the upside and we broke this downward sloping trend exactly here on the daily chart. But first of all guys, before we're going to look at the lower time frames, let's go on the even higher time frames. On the weekly chart, we can perfectly see that Bitcoin broke out from the range of 27,000 US dollars, and now we saw this major pump and this consolidation and this retest at the 61.8, and then we saw this major breakout towards the upside. So yes guys, is this the beginning of this major run towards the upside? Because yes, here we could see that the price movement came underneath this trend line and perfectly found support at the 61.8, and exactly the same scenario. Yes, we broke towards the downside, but the weekly candle closed in this bullish hammer candle. So yes guys, could we expect this next parabolic run towards the upside? Because yes, in the previous run we saw this sideways consolidation before we saw this bullish breakout breaking the previous highs. So yes guys, we could expect some sideways movement exactly within the zone before we're going to see this next parabolic run towards the upside. So yes, let's go on the daily chart of Bitcoin. Because yes, this green line exactly here, this was our point of control from the volume price range. And yes, once again you can see that on the daily chart we got a lot of volume here, and yes, we got this major rejection once before and also this formation from this downward sloping trend, and we can see exactly here and also here exactly this level was significant resistance and also support. So ultimately guys, we could expect a lot of resistance exactly at this green line being the point of control. But ultimately guys, Bitcoin needs to hold the 13 moving average exactly here, which is exactly at the level of 63,100 US dollars. So let's say around about 63,000 US dollars. This would also be a perfect retest from this downward sloping trend. So ultimately guys, I'm going to remain bullish if we're going to close the daily candle back above the 13 moving average. But ultimately guys, if we're going to see this break of the 13 moving average and that the price movement on the daily chart is going to close underneath the 13 moving average, we could expect that at least Bitcoin is going to come all the way back down to this trend line, or even all the way back to the 61.8, this very important max pain zone. But ultimately guys, we could also expect this continuation even higher, because the next major resistance is all the way at the levels of 67,000 US dollars. And if we're going to break the 38.2 exactly here, our next price target is going to be the 23.6 or even this downward sloping trend. But ultimately guys, let's go on the even lower time frames on the 4-hour chart. Because yes, exactly at this level where we can see the 13 moving average on the daily chart, we can see that exactly here we have the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level all the way from the swing high all the way to the swing low. And yes guys, on the daily chart we're getting some major resistance at the 38.2, but here we can clearly see on this move up that we are still holding perfect support above the 38.2 and also the 100 moving average exactly within this level. And yes guys, if we're going to zoom in on the 4-hour chart, this is also going to be a very important level, the 200 moving average, this red line exactly here on the 4-hour chart. This is going to determine, are we going to get this bullish move or even this bearish move if we're going to see the price movement close underneath the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. And this would perfectly line up with exactly the level of 63,000 US dollars being the 100 moving average and also the 13 moving average on the daily chart. So ultimately guys, Bitcoin needs to hold this level or even break above so that we're going to remain bullish. But guys, yes, if we're going to close underneath, then we're most probably going to dump all the way back down to this upward sloping trend or even the 23.6, which also perfectly lines up with the 61.8. So yes, this is going to be my ultimate bearish scenario if we're going to see that the price movement is going to close underneath this very important box. Yes, we're going to draw this box exactly within these levels, because this is the point that Bitcoin needs to hold or break above, and if we're going to see the price movement close underneath this green box, we could expect that the price movement is going to come all the way back down. And yes guys, if we're going to break this box or hold it, we could expect this continuation all the way back up to the 61.8, which perfectly lines up with the point of control. So yes guys, these are my bullish and also bearish price targets for the immediate short term. But why am I extremely bullish? Because like I also told you, exactly in these levels that I could expect that yes, if we're going to see this dump, this is going to be a quick move and a quick recovery all the way back up above this major important zone. And yes guys, even though we could expect this dump all the way back down, this would still be a higher low for Bitcoin and ultimately a higher high, or even this higher high all the way at these levels would give us the indication that the overall trend has turned around and that we're going to see this bullish breakout, yes, exactly from this level. So don't be fooled by any sideways move or any further dump before we're going to see this next parabolic run towards the upside, because yes, like I posted over on X, Bitcoin ETF issuer von X says now more than ever merchants and businesses are accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment, and this is extremely bullish because yes guys, who do you trust? Audited every 10 minutes by tens of thousands of people all across the globe, or the Federal Reserve banks that have never been audited. Yes guys, Bitcoin is the money of the future. And talking about major altcoins, guys, if you want to buy all of these coins, go down in the video description below where you receive a major deposit bonus if you sign up to Bybit, or even MEXC if you don't like any KYC, and if you want to trade all of this on a decentralized platform on Solana where you can earn points while trading on drift. So let's go over to some altcoins guys, because yes, Solana is once again in this major buying zone. I told you to buy Solana all the way down here, and yes, this was also this consolidation where we saw this breakout for Bitcoin exactly here. So yes, Solana is perfectly holding the 13 moving average on the weekly chart. So ultimately guys, we're still in this entry box, and yes, I could expect this bullish breakout for Solana. And yes, we've also talked about render, and yes, exactly in these regions we talked about render, and I told you that we're having perfect support exactly on the levels of the 88.6 and 78.6, and we saw this perfect bounce. And yes, if you would have dollar cost averaged exactly here, you would have been up 56% guys. And if we're going to go all the way back up to the previous highs, yes, you would be up 100%. So ultimately guys, now's the time to invest into all of these projects, because yes, we saw this major dump towards the downside, and all of these coins like AR, render, GRT saw a major push towards the upside. So this is exactly what I told you. Don't get fooled out of the market, dollar cost average into Bitcoin and all of these cryptocurrencies, because yes, this is only the beginning of this next major parabolic run. And yes, you're still early. And remember, if you want to buy all of these coins or even join my signal group, go down in the video description below where you'll find all of these things. Be for crypto, smash up the like button and subscribe, and we see each other in the next video.